everyone, welcome to the LCISD Adult Ed Plato Lab Orientation. Many of you do not come to the school regularly, so I wanted to give you this opportunity to see the presentation that I generally give the first week of class, to see who is on the other end of the assignments that you turn in, and to go over some basic rules, regulations, and how our program works. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to go through this, and I'm going to talk about the stuff that's on these slides. I hope that you get some information out of this video. If you need more help, more clarification, or you have questions, please reach out to me. And my contact information will be on this presentation. Okay, so obviously the Plato Lab, welcome. A little bit about the COVID regulations right now in the lab. We do have our computer stations staggered as far away from each other as possible, which means we are allowing, I think, 11 to 12 students in the lab at a time. Everything is sanitized before and after use. Students are required to wear a mask to answer health screening questions and their temperature checked when they walk in the room. All staff also go through the same screening procedures. We have an independent door that we enter and leave through, that instead of wandering through the entire building. And if you have questions about how we are doing the regulations, please reach out. If you refuse to wear a mask, or you have a temperature, or you answer yes to any of the screening questions, you will not be permitted to come to class. We do have masks, free ones in case you forget yours, disposable ones, and a fellow student makes them. We have those for purchase for $3 a piece. There's my contact information, okay? That is the phone number to get a hold of me in the lab. If you need to get a hold of me during non-lab hours, my email is a very good way. You can send me messages in Plato, but again, those are only looked at or responded to during lab hours. If you need to get me after hours, this email is the way to go, okay? Right here. I am a graduate of University of Michigan. I taught high school previously for many, many years. I really do love the adult ed program here. It's wonderful to be able to work one-on-one with students and help them achieve their goals. Life in the lab is pretty relaxed. We are school appropriate with our language and our dress. We do come here to learn. We don't come here for socialization, but sometimes that happens. I work with each student individually on their goals and help them achieve those goals. We do have a coffee maker. We have snacks usually provided by myself or Ms. Schloud. And we are a family atmosphere here. Everybody really cares about each other and wants to see each other succeed. So welcome to the family. I have a mini fridge this semester. You're welcome to use. Music is allowed. Make sure you bring headphones. Try to keep a minimum of 6 feet away from others. No roaming the hall. We do have breaks for hand washing every 2 hours. If you need to leave campus to have an off-campus break, that's allowed as well. Reminder that this is a drug-free school zone, so you cannot smoke on school property, but you're more than welcome to leave if you need to at the 2-hour break. Some FAQs. What do I do if I need to only come to the lab? Do not go through the front door of the building. Come through door number 3. It's on the north side of the building. There's a small parking lot there that you're welcome to park in. There's a large white 3 on the door. What if the door is locked? Well, the door is always locked, and you have to knock. And sometimes I'm not in here. If it's between 2:45 and 4, that's when I am on my break. That's my lunch. I go home, I get my son. That's my dinner. I go home and get my son. You can come in the front, or you can just sit in your car until you see me unlock the door. If there's a snow day, there's some proper protocol. If the building is closed, so K-12 students do not have school and this building is closed, then the lab will be closed from 12 to 3. It may be open from 4 to 8. You need to call or check the school's Facebook, or a remind message will come out to you and let you know. If you plan on being absent for any reason, you need to call the school and let them know. Think of it as a courtesy, like you would at your job. Online learning can be a challenge, right? There's some pros and cons. There's a learning curve. Technology issues are always arising. If you received an orientation binder, there's a page in there that tells you the requirements so that you can be on Plato on your computer at home 24/7. On your phone, Plato does not work so well. It is okay for reading, but it is not good for doing assignments. You really need to be on a tablet or a laptop or a Chromebook or a desktop. Google Classroom is, in addition to the Plato system, we also run a Google Classroom setup, so you need to be in both of those regularly. Keys for success. Yes, check your requirements. Cell phone is limited. If you do not have Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or Excel, the free options that you can use, as long as you have access to the internet, would be Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets. There will be more information about how to use these resources more effectively in the Google Classroom. You can use Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets on your phone. It's an app. You can use it on the internet without the app. You can download the app and use it offline. It saves in real time as you edit, and you can save something. You can be working on something on your computer and turn around and pull it up on your phone. It's very mobile, it's very versatile, and it works exactly like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, but it's free. It is free. Gmail. Student-issued accounts should be rolling out soon. In the meantime, you should be thinking, if you don't have a personal Gmail, that you should create one. Google Classroom is where we have collaborations. We can chat there. There will be more FAQs, frequently asked questions page, and resources on using Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets. The lab is the best resource you have. Why? Because the software is here, the computers are here, the internet is here, there's a printer here. You can print activities and work on them on paper, and you can even hand them in because I'm here. A teacher in the room is the best resource you can get. There are also books here. There are algebra books, geometry books, dictionaries, GED books, psychology books, history books, any type of subject we have if you prefer to look through a book. The hours, when can you come to the lab? Monday through Thursday, 12 to 3. Monday through Thursday, 4 to 8. Math on Thursday nights, 4 to 8. That is the night that the math teacher is in the lab running it, and he deals slowly. You can come in to work on any class, but if you need math help, that is the night to come in. Okay, key for success. There's some issues, some things that students need to know going into Plato Lab learning that they may not realize. You need to make sure you have time for your classes. As an adult student, it is not your only responsibility now to just go to school like maybe it was for most or some students in the past in high school or grade school, right? We have responsibilities, we have other things in our lives. We might have children that we need to care for, or parents we need to care for, or grandparents we need to care for, jobs. We might have issues with transportation now that we, are not bused. So you really need to find the time in your schedule, and it really helps to tell the people that you live with that you need to make sure you have time to work on school. Don't assume that they're just going to leave you alone. A quiet place to focus is always helpful. The lab can be that place, but if you can't get here on a regular basis, finding a quiet place. I've heard stories of students finding the quiet place as their car in the driveway. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. Distractions. Make sure you're aware of things that will distract you. TV, cell phone, social media, your kids, your parents, your friends, your neighbor. maybe put music on a playlist or pick a certain station that helps you focus and put your earbuds in and get to work. A schedule. Make a schedule. If you block off a chunk of time daily or weekly or every couple days, twice a week, and stick with it, you will be more successful. Okay? And it says there's a sign-up sheet. We don't have that this semester, but you can let me know when you know you're going to be in the lab or when you plan on being on the computer. Call me. Whatever you need to do, okay? Help. If you need help, make sure you ask. Do not feel that you're doing this alone. Do not feel that you're isolated. There are other students who are taking the same classes as you, and there are staff members who are willing to help you. Oh, geez. Focus. Don't forget why you're here, what you want to do. The more time you put into this, the faster you will get done with it. So make sure you're on track. As you finish courses, you can add more courses on. Do not think that because you registered for 2 or 4 or 3 or 5, that when you finish them, you can't get more. Or if you are in a class that you don't necessarily think that you're going to do well in, make sure you have that conversation with Ms. Loud and say, are there other math courses I can take? Or are there other science courses I can take? Or do I have to take this one? Okay? There are more options here in adult ed. So this brings me to, who do I talk to about that? Okay? Who do I need to talk to about that? If it has anything to do with schedule changes, that is Ms. Schlau. If you're having a class that you would like to add, if you have a class you would like to drop, if you finish a class and you need credit for it, that is Ms. Schlau. She can change your program if you decide, maybe I don't want high school completion. I need to get my GED because I have a job lined up and I need to get this done. She is the person to talk to. If you're having issues and you say, you know, I am living in Detroit and I have no car, is there a way, do I have to come to the lab all the time? Is there a way that I can just work from home? Is that going to be okay? That's something that you also need to run by Ms. Schloud. And that is her direct number, 810-667-6454. Mrs. Lashbrook, that's me. Anything to do with academics, anything to do with your classes other than adding or dropping. If you're having issues understanding the material, if something will not load for you, it will not open, you're having a technical difficulty, you don't understand your grading, you need a test unlocked, we need to go over a test because you didn't score well enough and we need to reset it, but we want to look at the answers first. If you want to do your work on paper and turn it in, and I can manually add in the grade, that is all me. You can call me if you are going to be absent or send me a message on Remind, or you have any Plato issues, okay? There is my direct number, 810-664-1124, extension 6435. Your peers are great to help study buddy, carpool, recommendations. You know, there are other students here. You may not see them all the time, but they are here. Reach out. Miss Reed. Mrs. Reed is the navigator. Her job is to navigate you to be successful after you complete our course and connect you with further learning, connect you with job opportunities, whatever the case may be. College career help. If you are having difficulties coming to school, she has Compass to Success events that she hosts once a week that you need to attend, I believe, 2 of per semester. Some of them are virtual, some of them are in person. If you need resources such as food pantry or babysitting or unemployment assist, like trying to figure out how to set up your unemployment, you need a job, that is who to talk to. Miss Reed's number is 664-1125 extension 4132. The front desk is extension 0, and you need to let them know if you're going to be absent unless you report to me or report to Miss Reed or report to the front desk. One of them is sufficient. We all talk. Something else, expectations. Now, this is a little different and it can't be as cut and dry and hard and fast as normal because of the COVID-19, but students should attend the lab. It says must. We're at the point right now where students should. If we go back to a stage 5, next semester students are going to be required. Unless you have information, if you had talked to Ms. Schloud and me and have direct consent from both of us. Otherwise, yes, you need to come to the lab a few times, even if you plan on working from home mostly, just because it is a lot easier to get the hang of the program, to understand the guidelines, the expectations, and the things that may come up if you're in the lab here with me and I can give you help and answers in real time. So you do need to, if you are not coming to the lab in person, you are going to need to attend a virtual meeting once a week. I try to host Zoom meetings every other week. I'll do early session versus a late session. You need to attend that. If you cannot, you need to contact me and let me know that you cannot attend, and this is why. Because you don't feel like it is not a valid reason. So you do need to be attending your classes regularly, even if you're doing it online from home. I can see what you're doing and how long you're spending on it. I can also see when you do not log in, as well as Ms. Schloud can see these things. You need to be in working on them consistently in order to get the classes done and move on. You need to complete all the assignments. So yes, the discussions are mandatory. Yes, the activities are mandatory, course activities, tutorials, mastery tests, which are more like quizzes, and unit and semester tests, okay? Your mastery, your final semester test, your unit test, you need to get a 75%. You can retake them as many times as it is necessary to get that score. We can look at the answers together if you want to see what you got wrong. That is not an option for you to look at on your own. You have to do that with me either in a Zoom meeting or in person. Communicate with your instructor once a week. That's me. Even if you have no questions, just check in. Be like, hey, I am checking in. I've been working on government class. Everything is going fine. I hope to come into the lab maybe next Thursday. Grammar and spelling should improve gradually. Read and utilize all comments on graded work. Participate in collaboration boards on Google Classroom. Check your communications daily. You really need to be checking into Plato Lab every day online, and you need to be checking Google Classroom at least once a week. Communication. We just talked about that. Tips and hints for success. These will save you a lot of time. If you pay attention and you watch this video, I also have sent this PowerPoint out as a link. I have it attached to our Google Classroom. You can refer back to as many times as possible. It has been passed out as a hard copy to those who came to the lab. But take notes. You can use these notes later when you're taking the tests. If you become locked out of a mastery test, you can reset it yourself by going back through the tutorial. Learn the color code system to understand what you have completed successfully, started, or not attempted. There are 3 videos in the Plato Orientation. Watch those videos and pay attention. You only need to complete Plato Orientation for one class one time. And take your end of semester test first. I can reset it for you, but at least this way you know what to expect, what material you need to understand in order to be successful. Another thing that I like to point out is that tutorials include a lot of questions and practice assignments. Again, practice assignments. These are graded as a completion grade, which means you get a grade if you completed it, and you don't get a grade if you don't complete it. So if they are really hanging you up, say they want you to write essays, 3-page essays or 5-paragraph essays, if that is something that is a time crunch for you or something that's really got you scared and you decided just to close out and not go back to it, please Take notes in there, do whatever you need to do to keep moving forward. Again, those are practice assignments. The unit activities, the course activities, those are the times where you really need to write the essays out thoroughly and fully. Again, test 75% or better. I can reset it. You can take it as many times as you would like. If you want to see the results, then you need to talk to me, either Zoom or in person. We can look at that. Pre-tests. Pre-tests are not for a grade, but they are important. Here's why. If you perform well on a pre-test, it can exempt you out of a lot of assignments. An exemption is marked by that blue E in the circle. That means that you already know this material and you do not have to complete that activity. That does not mean you don't have to know it. It means you should already know it, and you will be expected to answer questions about it on the post-tests, on the unit tests and the end of semester tests. Be serious in your studies. Collaborate. Grading. I generally get grades done within a day, unless, of course, you submit it Thursday after 3. I will not be back in the lab until Monday at noon. Anything that you submit over the weekend, I will not look at until the next lab session. Also, if there are holidays, I am not looking at it during holidays or breaks or spring break or Christmas break. And know that just because you turned something in at 2:55, so it's before 3 o'clock on Thursday, it does not necessarily show up on my end immediately. Sometimes assignments don't come through for 2 hours, okay? But I do generally have assignments turned around once the semester starts, 1 to 2 days. If you are working between semesters on break, I may not get to your grading until the semester starts officially. Math night, Thursday nights from 4 to 8, the lab is dedicated to math. Mr. Jakeway will also be available via Plato Messenger. So you can send him a message in Plato with your math questions, and he would be happy to help you. You need to get into Google Classroom. You need Gmail to do this. If you need help setting up Gmail or getting into Google Classroom, let me know, and I will be happy to help. Let's see. Plato, Edmentum, you need to check in every day. This is just some basic information for you to let you know that classes are assigned by Miss Sloud. But since she's the only one that can add you or drop you, the program to access these courses is called Plato, and it's designed and created by the company called Edmentum. We do not create these. So if you believe there has been an error, a typo, a misguided information, that question is stupid. While I appreciate your opinion, there's really nothing that I can do on my end. Each course is worth half of a credit, and you need to complete the whole thing. Google Classroom, on the other hand, is created and maintained by me. So if you notice a bad link, missing material, please let me know. I am in the process of updating that, so I understand if some of that is not working. Be patient with me. Okay. GED. I have a lot of stuff for GED students. I actually created a video that I put out. I sent a link to everybody via email and via Remind. I made a YouTube video about the GED program. GED classes in Plato can be overwhelming, but GED is a very personalized program. Here at school, these classes are preparatory. The test is a national test. Certificates are issued by the state, not by us. Our goal is just to prepare you to do well on the GED examinations. There are 4 subjects. You can take them one at a time. You can take 2 at a testing session. I wouldn't recommend taking all 4 at once because you are less likely to have a successful score. But we do have access to the GED Ready program, which are practice tests that will give you an indication of how well you will do on the actual exam. And as a bonus, in the state of Michigan, if you are in a preparatory program here at Adult Ed and you get a likely to pass on your GED Ready practice score, there is a way that we can apply to the state to have your testing fees waived per subject. Okay? Some other information that might be helpful: once you begin completing your tests through GED, subject by subject, you have 2 years to finish all 4. There are many practice tests that you need to take. Say you take a test in here, a GED practice, after we set up a GED account, and you get a too close to call. Anything between 135 and 145 is too close to call. It will give us a list of things that you need to study. I will then go back into your Plato GED class, and I will cross out and exempt you from everything that's not on the list from your test results. And then you need to go back into those modules and complete them, and we will retest the GED practice and see if you get into the likely to pass score range, anything over 145. Once you do that, we are ready to send away for our voucher for a free test, and that takes about a week to come back digitally, and then we can schedule you your test to go and complete your GED in that subject area. There are many places that are testing. Oakland Community College is one of them that I know of for sure, and we currently are not doing it in our building, but you can do it online if you have the proper technology. So you will need a computer that has a camera and a microphone, and is running certain software requirements, and you can check those out for yourself at GED.com. I also have practice books, so we can do a combination of paper and computer, but know that the GED test is online. Even if you take it at a testing center, you will be in a computer lab taking the test. Things that you should bring with you to the lab. Something to write with. I can loan out pencils until I have no more left. I cannot collect them back from you. If I give you a pencil, it's yours to keep. Notebooks. We have some notebooks, but you might want to dedicate a notebook per class for writing out your notes as you're going through modules and tutorials. The binder from orientation, if you haven't come in to get one of those, I have one for you in the lab. You need to come in and get it. It has a lot of good information. Headphones. Tutorials often have videos, and we can no longer share a class set of headphones, so please bring your own. A calculator, we do have some that you can borrow. And of course, a positive attitude, strong work ethic, and patience. You have to have patience. So I wanted to show you how to get on to your classes. Turn on the machine. If you were in the lab, you would do that. You need to log into the computers here before you can log into the Plato software. But if you're at home, you would just skip into, you would skip to number 3, the Plato shortcut, or go to Plato, ple.platoweb.com. Log into the Plato system. You need to use account is LCETC, Lapeer County Ed Tech Center, all lowercase. Your username is your first initial and your last name, all one word, all lowercase. And your password, sorry, that typo says password. Your password is your first name, all lowercase. Google Classroom, you would need to go to classroom.google.com, sign in, and in the upper right corner there's a plus sign that says join a class, and then you need to enter that code TWJKUKC, and it will put you into the Plato class. If nothing at all, log into this, and in here you will find instructions to log into Plato. So I know that was kind of a lot of information to take in. If you have questions about any of these things, or you need some further explanation, please reach out to me, call me in the lab, send me a message on Remind. I am the Plato Lab with Lashbrook. That's me. When you send me that message, it comes right through to me directly. Or send me an email, plashbrook@lapierreisd.org. I hope that this video is helpful, helps you get a little orientation of what it's like. I hope to see you in the lab very, very soon.